Salve Regina, Mater misericordiae, vita dulcedo, estes nostra salve.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Jesus and his disciples left from there and began a journey through Galilee, but he did not wish anyone to know about it. He was teaching his disciples and telling them, "The Son of Man is to be handed over to men, and they will kill him. And 3 days after his death, the Son of Man will rise." But they did not understand the saying, and they were afraid to question him. They came to Capernaum, and once inside the house, he began to ask them, "What were you arguing about on the way?" But they remained silent, for they had been discussing among themselves on the way who was the greatest. Then he sat down, called the 12, and said to them, "If anyone wishes to be first, he shall be the last of all and the servant of all." Taking a child, he placed it in their midst, and putting his arms around it, he said to them, "Whoever receives one child such as this in my name receives me, and whoever receives me receives not me, but the one who sent me." The Gospel of the Lord. Jesus Christ. I always get a little shaken by the book of Sirach, especially this verse. "My son, when you come to serve the Lord, stand in justice and fear." Justice and fear. It's rather peculiar. Stand in justice and fear and prepare yourself for trials. In other words, we're going to have trouble, but one of the things that happens to us in our pride is where we forget where God is when there's trouble coming. And we might find ourselves either being swept up as partakers of the trouble or have lost our way in looking for help and forgetting where our help should come. My help is from the Lord who made heaven and earth. It's easy to forget that we are truly children of God, and he desires to help us. He desires also to give us enough freedom to use the gifts and the talents that he gave us, and even allows us to go on our own to a certain degree. But we should not be forgetting where it all comes from, because our help is from the Lord who made heaven and earth. And so if we're going to survive, it's good that we would appeal to the Lord. And it is here, for example, in the Mass, it's here where we receive God's word and God's desire to give us everything we need to become a fruition of Christ himself in us. And so sometimes we have to maybe put aside the idea that we're grown-ups and act like children who are in need, in love for their Heavenly Father.
Regina Celi, letare, alleluia, qui atque meruisti portare, alleluia, resurrexit sicut dixit, alleluia. Alleluia.